You won't believe the weirdest laws that actually existed at some point in history. For hundreds of years, laws have been enacted, some of which were bizarre, such as prohibiting crying at funerals and making Christmas illegal. Can y'all believe that? Hello and welcome back to our channel, Curious Media. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and share it with your friends as well. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the weirdest and most absurd laws that have ever been created. Some of these laws are so ridiculous that you would think they were made up, but believe us, they're all totally real. So strap in and get ready for a hilarious ride as we take a look at some of the craziest laws that have ever been put into place. Number 3. Ancient legal lunacy. Nowadays, in most parts of the world, you are presumed innocent unless proven guilty. On that notion, they played the reverse card almost 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, and you were guilty unless proven innocent. This is because they believed that a person who was truly innocent would never have been accused of a crime in the first place. Worse, the consequences were harsh. Instead of spending long prison sentences, people found guilty could be banished to Nubia and forced to work in mines. Although most ancient Egyptian crimes, such as theft and homicide, are still recognized today, meanwhile in ancient China, there were a slew of strange regulations in place to punish odd behavior. Butchers had to be careful how they showed their chickens during the Yuan dynasty, which lasted from 1279 to 1368 AD, because it was prohibited to hang one upside down. This was considered disrespectful to the emperor, whose zodiac sign was the rooster. And, whereas nowadays men like Tom Cruise and Robert Downey Jr. desire to appear taller, everyone wanted to reach Danny DeVito's height during the ancient Qin dynasty, which governed China from 221 to 206 BC. The 18 laws of Qin prohibited men under 4'11 and women under 4'8 from being convicted of any crime. Because birth records were incomplete at the time, it was difficult to prove someone's age, so height was used instead. So if someone wanted to go on a crime spree in ancient China, they would tie their shoes over their knees. However, if someone is caught stealing, the worst thing they can do is start a riot. Another absurd law that existed in ancient China is that the men were banned from crying under the Qin dynasty. If a grown man is caught crying in public, his beard and brows will be shaved off as punishment. Because the Qin dynasty was famed for its love of warrior traditions, tears were thought to be a sign of weakness, and therefore this mutilation signified the momentary loss of the martial spirit. Wow, imagine making crying illegal these days, especially when it's unavoidable, as during a funeral. Number 2, wearing armor in Parliament is strictly prohibited. The United Kingdom has always been a strong hitter when it comes to putting strange rules on its population. To be fair to its politicians, some of the laws people assume the country has enacted have never truly existed, such as the one that reportedly made it unlawful to crack open a boiled egg at the pointy end. While it has always been permitted in Britain to break an egg any way you like, other rules were quite serious, such as the legal necessity to have a longbow in the house and participate in 2 hours of archery practice per week. This, like many of the UK's outer laws, was long since repealed. One ridiculous law that is still in effect is the one that makes wearing armor in the Houses of Parliament prohibited. This law, which dates back to 1313, was enacted by Edward II. Rebellions marred Edward's unhappy rulership, and to prevent prominent noblemen from showing up to Parliament sessions in full armor to intimidate other members, the king prohibited the wearing of armor. This did not prevent his subsequent deposition and rumored painful death at the hands of a red-hot poker in Berkeley Castle in 1327. If you're liking the video so far, consider giving it a big thumbs up. You can also share the video with your friends and family to let them know just what kind of weird laws existed and still exist in fact. Number 1, death itself may be illegal. Yep, you heard that right. Even death can be illegal. That's ridiculous, right? Imagine a person died. Then what? Are they gonna enforce a penalty on a dead body? While it may appear difficult to execute, some countries have made death illegal over the years. The earliest known instance of this occurred in the 5th century BC on the Greek island of Delos. The ancient Greeks believed the island to be a holy location, so much so that it was decided the entire area needed to be purified before it could be used to worship the gods. In the 6th century BC, all deceased bodies in tombs within sight of the island's major temple were dug up and removed. The Delphic oracle declared that all bodies on the entire island must be removed because this was not good enough. Furthermore, the act of dying was rendered illegal, as was childbirth. And it wasn't just the ancients who declared death illegal. In a fruitless attempt to alleviate the city's dearth of available burial space, the mayor of the Brazilian town of Birituba Mirim introduced a law that made death illegal in 2005. Meanwhile, in France, 3 towns have rendered death illegal since the year 2000, all because planning clearance for additional graves was denied. As it turns out, not all of the rules we've been taught to believe in are actually set in stone. While some are fictitious, others have real-world consequences and can be found in existing laws. Which one of these ridiculous laws have you known about? Let us know in the comments. Please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share them with your friends. Maybe in the future it will be unlawful to not perform these things as well. See you next time.